So I thought I'd do a quick video just to introduce myself, because I'm going to start doing more videos on the channel, and it's probably a good idea that you know who you're listening to, watching. That's if you choose to watch. You might be bored of tears, who knows. So I'm Scott. I'm 48. I'm a health and safety manager. I've probably only in the last 2 years sort of got interested in hiking, wild camping, that kind of stuff. Prior to that, all of the activities I did, sports-wise, if you like, were all sort of power-based. So as a kid, up till I was maybe 21, I was a hammer thrower, threw for Britain once. Injury stopped that. Then I did Highland Games, competed in that for a couple of years, did really well in that. But the distance was too much every weekend. So then I did nothing for a few years, and then started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Competed a few times in that, won a few tournaments at white belt. Then I played semi-professional rugby league for a couple of years until injury again stopped that. Then I did nothing for a long time, probably 10, 12 years. Then I decided to try and lose a bit of weight because I turned into a proper chunky. And I started powerlifting. Did that for maybe 5-6 years till injury stopped that. In that time I won a deadlift world title in the drug-free powerlifting federation and set a world record, which is now being broken. Congratulations to the guy who did that. And basically 2 years, well, year and a half ago, well, no, 2 years ago, I was sitting at 147 kilograms, so I was a big one. And I started losing a little bit of weight. I decided I had enough of being a fatty. So, and if that offends anyone, me saying the word fatty, tough. I was fat, end of story. So I started losing a bit of weight, got down to about, from 147 down to about 137. And how I got started with the walking and hiking, I'd gone to Fort William camping for a holiday, and I was camped right next to Ben Nevis, like at the Glen Nevis campsite. And I got talking to a guy from Wales, and he asked if I was going to go up. And the previous night, the rescue helicopter had been up there, and I sort of thought seriously about it and realised I was in no condition to go up there. If I'd made that effort, there's a fair chance they'd have been pulling me off the mountain, because I was so unfit and fat and all that stuff. So I decided I'm going to push harder to lose more weight, get fitter, do more walking, and that's kind of where it started. Anyway, 2 months later, I go back to Fort William to do some walks around that area again, because I really like it up there. And I pitched my tent up, unloading my stuff out the car, and I had a heart attack. Scary time, but it was caused by a blood clot. They fitted some stents because one of the arteries was slightly narrowed. And 4 weeks after that, I was back hiking, and I was up to sort of 10, 15 miles. That's been no problem since then, absolutely fine. In about March, I'd done a couple of wild camps, and one of them was an absolute washout, so I decided I'm going to get a van, I'm going to convert it into a camper, which is what I'm here in today. Bit of a mess in the back, but yeah. So I did that, and then just as I finished doing that, I went and managed to dislocate my knee, which meant I had another actual 2 months where I couldn't really walk properly. I was on crutches and then using a stick. It was a nightmare. Anyway, that gets sorted. Sort of July time, I went back to Fort William, decided I'm definitely doing Ben Nevis this time. Did Ben Nevis. The going up, not a problem. Coming down, nightmare. My knee was agony. Just too much impact on the way down. So I did that, and when I got home from that holiday, there was a letter on the doorstep which said, "Congratulations, you've won the type 2 diabetes lottery." So I'm now type 2 diabetic. At that time, I was 127 kilos, so I lost 20 kilos from when I'd started in May 21. I cut down more. walked more, and by the beginning of December I was 118 kilograms, so I lost another 9. So that brought me total to like 29 kilos I'd lost. So then the hospital got in touch with me and they started me on an 8 to 12 week meal replacement program. The idea being that if you can lose 10 kilos, you've got a 64% chance of reversing the type 2 diabetes. If you lose 15 kilos in that period, you've got an 87% chance of reversing it. So that's the goal. Today is the end of the 3rd week. So I'm 3 weeks in, and so far I've lost 10.6 kilograms in 3 weeks. So I'm now, this morning I was sitting at 108 and coppers. So I've got another 5 to 12 weeks, 5 to 9 weeks to lose another 5 kilos. My aim is actually to lose that 8, so I can get my body weight to 100 kilos, which I haven't been since I was 17. So consequently, it's actually quite expensive, this, because I've got to buy a ton more clothes. Like, all my clothes are just massive now. Because in total, since May 21, I've now lost 39 kilos, which is what, about 84, 85 pounds, something like that. So it's about 6 stone. And is that 6 stone? Yeah, about 6 stone I've lost in total. Get down to 100 kilos, that'll be another. So I'll have lost about 7 since I started. And consequently, my waist's dropped like about 7 inches, 8 inches or something up till now. So it's going to go further. So I'm probably going to be banging a load of stuff on eBay to try and get rid of it. But it is what it is. I'd rather be in better health and have to buy new clothes than, you know, stay fatty and die younger and all that morbid crap. I know people who've been diagnosed with stuff, they become very depressed about it and things like that, and I get it. Everyone's different. Things like this affect people in different ways, and there's no right or wrong. I'm a very pragmatic person in the sense that things are what they are. Like, when I was having my heart attack, the doctor says to us, "You're very calm about this." And I said, well, because the reason is, it's simple. I'm either going to die or I'm not. If I die, I know nothing about it. If I don't die, then great. But if I do die, the pressure's on you, because you're the one treating us. You're the only one that can do anything about this now. I've got myself to this point, that's my fault. But the treatment you give me is going to be what makes a difference. And I have no influence on that now. So what's the point in worrying about it? And that's the way it was an epiphany moment, really. And now that's kind of how I deal with things, you know. Can I do something about it? Yes, do something about it. Can I not? No, don't worry about it then, because it's not a problem. And I also look at things like, if it is this problem now, is that going to be a problem in 10 years' time? If it's not a problem now, problem solved. And that's how I look at things now. Since I had the heart attack, it totally changed me perception of things, because I did used to dwell on stuff quite a lot. So anyway, that's where I am. At the minute, the 800 calorie thing, the only downside was that I'm hungry all the time. 800 calorie was like breakfast, and now that's my full day. And when I'm doing a hike, flat or gently undulating is absolutely fine. If I'm doing any kind of ascent, I'm not gassing. Like, breath-wise, I'm fine, but it's just like I'm running on empty batteries. There's nothing in the legs, and that's where I'm struggling at the minute. So I'm looking forward. I've got 5 weeks to go. I'm looking forward to getting to the end of this, so I can then increase my calories, and then I should be able to cope with the hiking a lot better than I am at the minute, because I am struggling. I'm not going to lie about it, but I'm making the effort to push on and keep doing it. All it means realistically is that at the minute on a hike with other people, I'm last. It's that simple. I have to stop. So when I'm hiking uphill, I'll stop a lot more frequently than other people, maybe for 20, 30 seconds at a time, but I need to do that, because if I don't, the best way I describe it is it feels like my legs are just going to start cramping up. There's just nothing in there, no fuel in there. And I was at the hospital last night, had a discussion about this, and they basically said, look, If you go over your 800 calories, you can, that's fine, but not by much. So you're only looking at like maybe 50 or 100 maximum. And based on me body mass age and all that kind of stuff, me basal metabolic rate on days that I'm walking, like if I do a 5-mile hike, my basal metabolic rate is something like 3,400 calories, and so I'm 2,600 less than what I should be having. So it's not surprising that I'm struggling when I'm hiking, but it is what it is. As I say, we're 3 weeks in. I think I brought the back of it because the hunger's not bothering us so much, and I'm pushing myself hikes more during the week. When I finish work, I'm going out 5 miles on the night time, and I'm pushing that faster and faster, and I'm coping with it better. So I think the body's adjusting. It's just taking time, but yeah, we'll get there. But that's where I am. That's who I am. Like I say, I've done plenty of stuff over the years. Everything's changed because of the health thing, and it's not a bad thing. I do enjoy the hiking and the wild camping. I'm really getting into it quite a lot. And it's also, I find it really cathartic for, mental health as well. It's great being out in the middle of nowhere, unreachable on your phone in terms of like social media and all that nonsense. He says posting a video to YouTube, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So I'm excited to see how far I can go with this. As I say, I've started the Wainwrights. Today will be the first 2, possibly 3, and I've done a couple of the Ethels. I'm gonna bag all of them. I did maybe a dozen Wainwrights over the years, like when I was a lot younger in the Army Cadets and the Scouts and stuff. But because I can only remember maybe half of the ones I did, like I did Scafell, Blencathra, High Street, a few others, because I can't remember some of them, I just thought, you know what, just start from scratch. Forget that you've done any and do some more again. So that's the plan. And then once I've completed them, then I'll decide on what I'm going to do next. I would like to do all of the big hills in Northumberland. I think Northumberland's doesn't get as much attention as it deserves, to be honest with you. There's some cracking walks and big hills up there as well. Like the Cheviot, for example, which is over 800 metres, I think. So there is some good big ones up there. And it's just a very expansive and sort of empty part of the country. Like everyone comes to the lakes, everyone goes to the Brecons and Snowdonia, and they go to the peaks and the Cairngorms and all that stuff. But it just seems like the Cheviot largely gets ignored, and it's a cracking place. I would recommend anybody go there. If you haven't been, go there, give it a try, because there's some blinding walks up there. So that's me plan over the next however long. I haven't set a time limit on it. Don't see the point in that. I'll just work through them as I work through them, and I'll post regular videos about the hikes, about the wild camping that I do, any equipment that I try or change. I'll do reviews on that, things like that. So I'm really just starting out with this whole YouTube thing, and we'll see how it goes, see where it goes. But yeah, any feedback, any questions, comments, just leave them, and I'll do my best to answer all of them. Obviously starting out, that's going to be easy because no one follows us. But if the channel does take off, if it does or it doesn't, it is what it is. If it does, great, and then that obviously will make it a little bit more tricky, but I'll do my best. And if things do pick up, I'll maybe look at doing, like, I don't know, some giveaways and things like that. We'll see how we go. But anyway, so that's me, that's who I am, that's where I am, and that's what my plan is. If you like to follow it, then champion, hit subscribe, hit like, hit the alarm bell, all of these things I see everyone else saying. And speak to you soon.